Hello, folks. You are now being pulled into the black dimension. And today I'm going to talk about everything, everywhere, all at once. This film was a very interesting film. Okay. It took me, it takes a moment to figure out exactly what's going on. But once you start getting it, you get it. Okay. This movie can be considered a little bit trippy. All right. But it was a very interesting story of a woman. And I guess the best way to explain this was it's about a woman story that included her family that was more than just about one story, one version of her story. This movie traveled the multiverse. Okay, it traveled the multiverse. Um, there were no superheroes in this film, but it did have a multiverse in it. So it definitely made for some interesting takes, and it showed different versions of a person's life. And that kind of makes it a little bit trippy because when we think about things with the multiverse, you think about something dealing with superheroes, but this one did not deal with a superhero at all. Okay, but even though there were no superheroes involved, the way they explained what was going on in the multiverse, very good explanation. Different decisions people can make can change into a lot of different variations on a person's life. And they did have a great cast in this movie. Now the movie was starring someone I wasn't necessarily familiar with, Michelle Yao, which done a she did a great job as the central character, but it was more than just about her. Like I said, it was really also about her family and her daughter, especially, which made things interesting as well because she was a woman, and even through a multiverse she wanted to keep her family together. And why wouldn't a woman want to keep her family together? Okay, she had such a warm, loving family in one version of the multiverse. In other versions things were going a little bit different, but you see, this is a warm, loving family. Looks like everybody's good to go. It's a people, and they were dealing with some stuff because they were having some tax problems, which was part of the story about what was going on with them. So they had to deal with real life things while unreal things were just popping out of nowhere. Okay, they were dealing with real life things while some unreal things was popping out of nowhere. Now, in this multiverse, when you had visitors come in, you had visitors using the same body, or a different mentality from the version that was already present. So it was like, you could be yourself, but you would be yourself with a different mindset, different. You have different memories, different life experience, and you can pull from people's thoughts and ideas and training from other universes, which made it for an interesting story. And Michelle Yao basically played a woman who needed to save the day. Okay, and who did she need to save the day from? She needed to save the day from her own daughter, which was played by Stephanie Sue, I believe is pronounced HSU. I believe that's pronounced Sue. All right. Now Jamie Lee Curtis was actually in the movie, and I was kind of wondering why Jamie Lee was there right from the beginning. But she's a great actress that had a lot of great roles over time, and she definitely made things interesting. Um, The husband was played by Ki Hugh Kwan, if I'm pronouncing that right, who also did a very good job and gave a lot of great family dynamics going on in this particular film. This was a story that you kind of have to kind of see it, but the universe needed saving, and they needed someone to save the universe who was qualified to save the universe. So they basically came after a woman who wasn't really great at anything in her particular life. So they figured she would be the perfect woman to be able to save the universe. And as the story goes along, she had to save the universe from her own daughter. Okay, well, at least a version of her daughter. So it definitely made for an interesting tale. Now there was action in the movie. Yeah, okay. There were some interesting jokes and things in the movie. I didn't know if this was a foreign film at first or what. Maybe it is a foreign film. I didn't know. I didn't know what to think. Because they did start off speaking a different language. It was subtitles to follow along. But yes, they mainly spoke English in the movie. So I was like, okay, well, I guess this is an American movie. But see, the thing is, they did such a great job telling this story that's unlike a different story that you would expect to have a multiverse in it. So, was it a good film or not? Absolutely, it was. And I meant to say that earlier, but with our rating system, we rate movies a buy, a bootleg, or a bomb. And I'm gonna have to say this movie here, I'm gonna have to go with bootleg. Okay, definitely was an interesting movie. If you go to the theaters and watch the movie, you're going to enjoy it. That's for sure. Okay. If you wait on the movie for a little while, you're still going to enjoy it. I'm not going to say you have to rush to the theaters to see it, but if you do go, you will not be disappointed. If you wait for it to be on a streaming service of some kind or later on down the road somewhere, you're going to enjoy it. And I do believe you would see the movie as if you went to the theater to see it, you wouldn't be mad or upset about it at all. So the movie was definitely a good movie all the way through and through. Just a very interesting story of stories about a family in one version, but like mortal enemies in a different version. So a definitely interesting take on the multiverse. So salute to the folks who put this film together. But yeah, you will enjoy it whenever you do get around to it. So I'm already the bootleg. Not gonna say you gotta rush to the theater, but you will enjoy it when you see it. So that's where I'm leaving. And I'm gonna get on up out of here. So you've now been pulled in the black dimension. Good luck finding your way out.